Actually, before we drag the views onto the sheet, I want to get these spandrels to have a texture to them. And on Blackboard, if you go to the module, you'll see there's a place where you can download the plank texture. I can't graphically show you right now because the Blackboard is down. But just like we did with the brick, if you select the brick, it'll open up in the browser. And then if you right click on it, you can save it to your file. And so let's go ahead and change our spandrel texture. And what I'll do is I'll just click into this so I can grab a piece of spandrel. I'll go to edit type and we'll go into the structure. And once again, the material of it will go to that area. And we're going to add a new texture. So I'm going to grab down here. I'm going to create a new material. And I'm going to call it spandrel texture. So I'm going to right click on, I'm going to rename that by right clicking on it. Okay, and we're going to need an image. So I'm going to go to where I saved that file. I put all my, excuse me, let me get to the drive. So I placed all my textures in the folder. So there's my plank and my brick material so far, and I'm going to grab the plank, move my big head, open up that file. We have no idea how big this texture is, so I'm going to click on it so we can scale it. It says it's 1 foot. I'd like that to be more like 4 feet. So I'm going to change that to 4 feet just to test it. If we don't like it, we can always come back and change it. And that would mean that might even go a little bit further than that. Let's make it very large. Let's go ahead 10 feet. I'll click done. I'll click apply. OK. OK. Apply. We should see the texture come on the back. Click OK. And there we have our nice wood texture on the back of or on the face of the spandrels. And that could be changed to brick or anything you want, depending on what your taste might be for that. Okay, so let's drag a few other views on and take care of some other issues. So I'm going to go ahead and drag the south elevation on. Or try to. Let's try that again. Oh, I must have the view activated. Deactivate the view, sorry. Grab the south elevation and drag it on. Okay, and once again, we want to clean this up so it looks not so busy. So I'm going to grab a level line, hide it in view by element. Oops, sorry. Let me undo that. I meant by category. Hide in view by category. Select that. Hide in view by category. Now we have our south elevation showing up. And I'm going to deactivate that view. And we'll delete it right away because we want to get a nice lineup of the title underneath it. Okay, I'd prefer to get rid of anything underneath this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another technique for getting rid of these title lines, these specific drawing titles with the touch of a button, so to speak. So if I select this, you'll notice it says viewport 1. If I go to edit type, I can make a duplicate. I'm going to make a duplicate that I'm going to call no title. I'm going to click OK. And then view title is going to go to none. Show is going to go to no. And I think that's all we need to make an adjustment to get it to hide. And there we have now where the viewport saying no title, and there's no title on beneath our building that we placed there. So let's drag a few more drawings onto our screen. I'm going to grab the section view again, place it here, and we'll give it some of the similar characteristics as far as lighting goes. So I'm going to go to the graphic display options, and let's turn some shadows on. I'm going to cast some shadows, get rid of the edges on it, and maybe brighten it up a little bit and hit apply. And you notice our shadows are moving in a different direction than here. So let's go ahead and make this now still come from the top left. And we have a little shadow there. I think that looks pretty good on the screen. So I'll click that off. We'll deactivate that view. We'll select it again, and we'll make no title underneath it. And this is kind of a screwy thing with the screen displays, where sometimes this will disappear. But if you zoom in and zoom out, that should pretty well clear it up. And the last thing we'll do is let's just drag another plan onto the screen. Let me make sure I've deactivated all my views, and I'm going to drag the mezzanine, onto the screen. And you can see it's really large. So let's go ahead and get it a bit under control. So right away, I'll double click into it. Let's get rid of some of the quick things here. So I'm going to hide in view the elevation markers by category. I'm going to hide in view the grid lines by category. And we'll get rid of the section line because we don't have another drawing to reference it with right now. Hide in view by category. All right, and then once again, we'll take the scale down, just one little step. I'll hit apply, and we'll give it a rendering technique that helps it match the other drawings here. So we'll go to realistic. I noticed that the level of detail isn't fine, so I'll put on fine. That'll actually show those beams there too. And we'll go to graphic display options. I don't know if I want to, I think I might want to leave the edges for this one. I'm going to show some shadow. And I'll probably brighten it up just a little bit, and I'll probably turn the sun down a little and hit apply. Once again, the sun is coming from an odd angle here. So let's change this to sunlight from the top left. Hit apply. And I want to do the same thing for the other one. So I'm going to deactivate this view. I'll move this up a bit. We're going to put the no title under it. We'll grab this one and we'll try to edit its. I'm going to double click into it and I'm going to go to its graphic display options and try to give the lighting on the same side as our floor plan one is. So in session lighting, we're going to go from the top left, hit apply. That one makes sense. I don't know why we're on the top left over here. I don't know why that one's not behaving right. Let me just go back to that one, deactivate the view. Now I've got this one selected, and we'll go to graphic display options and the lighting and top left, and hit apply. There we go. I don't know how I managed to miss that. Okay, and now we're going to deactivate the view. That'll make these all look about the same density. All right, so that's just an experiment showing you how you can get all your drawings onto a sheet using that background to give you a nice color. This could be a technique for making a quick presentation sheet. You have some room over here to write your narrative. And what I want to do right away now is now export this. So it's one of the save files that we need. So I'm going to go to export it as a PDF, and we'll call it, well, let's make sure we save it where we want to. So I've got to navigate out there to it. And we'll call this CV4 render. I'll call it render 1. We want to make it 100% its size. We want to make sure we use that architectural D size. We want to make sure that we're using the right sheet. So I can go in here and select that sheet. I'm going to click the select button here. And we should be able to find that sheet view now. We've called it presentation sheet. There it is. Select, save, and let's hit export. And I'll put that on pause while it exports and get the file called up on the screen. Okay, that rendering is complete. It's called CV4 render. This isn't showing up as a PDF because I have all my PDFs show up as a Chrome document. That way I can open them quickly in the browser. So I'm going to double click on that and I'll close this off so we can see our drawing. I'll make it fit on the sheet. All right, so it seems it's going all the way to the borders. It's very sharp. If we were to zoom in on this, let's go to 200%. You can see we have plenty of detail here. All right, so it's a nice looking document. The only disappointing thing is we get these little shadow boxes around our graphics. This is kind of a typical, and a little bit of this gradation showing. But anyway, that's a great start to. There are other ways we could export this not as a PDF. So we'll move on and do a couple of technical drawings, and now that we've saved this rendering, and then at the end we'll reverse back to a sketch-like rendering for the final version.